Alright, so this is going to be a quick VOD review, going over Beyblade's gameplay in the mid lane on Anivia. So, we're probably only going to go over the first like 10-15 minutes here. We don't want to go into the details of an entire game yet because most of the notes that we were going over initially were based around the early game CSing, item resets, and pressuring our opponent. So we're going to take a look at how that plays out. Now, something that we'll talk about real quick is as a mid laner, you either want to be standing here, here, or somewhere up in the middle of lane over here so that you can help get vision and cover for an invade. You don't need to go up too far, but it's just nice to give your jungle the little extra security so you know if anything gets warded, right? Because what you want to avoid is giving the enemy space to get this ward down, because when they get this ward down, now they know where your jungler is starting, and now that they know where your jungler is starting, they have a distinct kind of advantage in this early game due to that. Okay, so now we see a fight breaking out here. Let's see how this plays out. Should be actually pretty good for us, considering that we have RCC. So that's a good thing, right? We got this. Now, looking at this fight here, what we need to identify quickly is that, like, the fight is over. Kane used his sums. He's low. We don't want to have to expend our flash. So as soon as we get that auto and CC down, we're backing out. We're leaving this fight completely. It's okay to help your team, but it's not okay to let your team lose you the game, right? So because that's the plan, what I want to see here is I want to see us just leave completely, right? We got a little bit more damage down on the Aurora due to a couple autos. That's okay. Nice little stun there, more auto trading. But like I said, we still want to be kiting back, right? We want to be making sure that we're not giving up too much in our lane. Man, this Mundo is pretty bad. He missed a lot of spears there. So that's lucky. Lucky for us. Now what I want to be seeing is, right, we know that we have egg. We know that we have health advantage. We know that this person is low, right? We are running electrocute. So right now what I want to see is I want to see us practicing what we talked about where we're using high value spells, right? So we should be autoing here, and then we should be queuing through this minion to try and secure the last hit and initiate a trade at the same time, because you have her within a kill threshold here. And in level 1, she's not going to be able to kill your egg if you go into egg form, right? And we're fine to trade our passive here, okay? So once again, right, if we can throw our Q here on an angle, right, rather than just autoing as quick as we can, we walk over and then we look for this Q angle through the wave, right, so we can secure the last hit and get damage. That's what we're looking for. So kind of two examples going on right here where I think potentially we could have maybe secured a little bit more CS and also traded well. Okay, especially since she went W first, we should be a lot more aggressive here with our trades. So here, we're level 2. We have Q in 4 seconds, and we have E. She's going to get level 2 here, but what we should be looking for is you could just walk up here and zone her off of this because you know that she took W. She's level 1. She's got 100 health. You know that electrocute is going to do, let's take a look here. It's going to do 60 damage right now, somewhere around that, maybe 20 damage, but your autos are going to do 53. She's got 20 armor, that's around 30. 1E, 2 autos, she's dead. This is very disrespectful by the Aurora. You should be punishing this. Alright, so let's see what happens. I want to see a Q come out here. Good, we're pressuring her off. Alright, not the worst thing in the world, but what happened here? Let's talk about what happened here. So why was Aurora able to dodge this? Okay, that's a great question. Why was Aurora able to dodge this? Because we know that Aurora isn't an auto attack animation. We need to wait for her to go up and actually commit to autoing one of these two minions before we throw out our ability. And the reason why is because we've pushed her off now. And because we've pushed her off by not hanging out back here, we're getting too excited about the kill. Not only is she harder to hit, She only has one option right now in the multiple quiz choice of League, and it's dodge, right? If we just simply stay back here, she has to make a decision between dodge and CS, right? We want to make her make a choice, right? Don't take the choice away from her by being over aggressive. So now, right, we've kind of mistimed it. We could have sat back here and waited 2 extra seconds, let her walk up, and then throw your Q through these 2 minions and look for that high value trade where we secure the minions and get the trade that we want. So we're seeing a couple instances of what we talked about in our original coaching session here. So this is pretty good. This is turning into a pretty great example so far. Right? Now you don't die here. When you come out of this egg, I want to see you kill her. Okay, there's a flash. The flash is unnecessary. And let's talk about why the flash is unnecessary here. So the reason the flash is unnecessary here, right, is because we see she's walking away and she still has flash, right? So we're flashing and then we're throwing out our ability, but she still has her W up and her flash up. So chances are you're probably not going to kill her here, right? We're not taking a smart trade around wave states. We're just taking a trade where we're tunneling on getting the kill, right? And now we're fighting into her wave and we lost our entire health advantage, right? We had an entire health advantage coming out of egg and we kind of threw it away as long as with our summoner spell. Now let's talk about the wave state here. What we need to do at this point, because we messed up a little bit, right, is we've got almost 400 gold in terms of the gold that we need. So we need to make sure that we secure these minions, we get this shoved out, we crash this wave, and then I would recommend backing to get tier and then TPing here, right? We don't want to stay in lane at this point. We need to find a way out of lane, and the reason why is because we have no flash. We wasted it. She is playing safe under tower, and we know Amumu is somewhere in his jungle, and we're completely pushed up with no vision on either side. So we're asking to get ganked and killed here, right? Now we're only 2 minutes into the game, but we're seeing a lot of things where we have areas to improve, so that's good, right? We're level 3 here. We should be hard autoing this wave, trying to get it in as quick as possible. Now, let's talk about what happened right here, and we'll probably stop looking at these examples as we go forward just to kind of make the game a little bit easier, right? So, where is Aurora looking? What does Aurora want? Well, it's pretty obvious that Aurora is looking for these minions, right? So we position ourselves here, and then as she walks up, I want to see a Q come out right here that is going to damage the wave, secure the last hit, and hit the enemy, right? We need to be looking for these high value trades in this lane so that we can reassert control, right? Now the problem is, we're walking up into a range like we're going to use an auto attack here. What we need to be very aware of, kind of with Anivia specifically, in terms of how we're playing this matchup, is right now, if we take a look at your champion, and I believe we should be able to see the attack range. We can't. Your attack range is about, based on it being 600, it's about here, okay? Your Q range is substantially longer, right? It's somewhere around here. So we need to be positioning using that as a point of pressure rather than using our ult as a point of pressure so that we can create a zone of control to keep her off and keep her here. Once she crosses this threshold, this is where we're looking to trade. We're moving up trying to get an auto, and by trying to get an auto, you're pushing her away from where you're trying to land your Q. And that's what's happening here in these trades. So we can see here what happens is you walk up, right, trying to get an auto after these minions clear, and when you walk up trying to get an auto on her, she immediately backs up and is out of Q range. Right? We need to be pushing this really fast, get this under tower. Okay, this is under tower. At this point, the best thing you can do back and TP. You should be backing and TPing here. She's shoving the lane. You can come back with an item advantage. Very good trade. Now, what our ideal option is here is we can either just go for the dive under tower. Okay. I like this W. So let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about this W. This is a very, very good Anivia play. I like it a lot. So let's talk about why it didn't work. Okay, so we W here. We have our E up. So what we do here, we're getting overexcited, right? We're running in. Let's just stand here, right? We don't need to auto. You're not an auto attack base champion, so we don't need to move in tower. This is wrong. And all we have to do is stand here and wait 1 second. We might take a tower shot and throw your Q out and then throw your E out and then walk out, right? We're rushing the dive, and because we're rushing the dive, right, she's out anyways, and we end up taking two. So now we've moved on to kind of the next part here. We backed. We bought a tier. Very good. Bought a pink. I want to see this pink realistically go down in either this side bush here, or this bush here, or this bush here, right? These are like the prime places to put your pink for vision control. Now we could have waited a second and left base with max health, but it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, so here we need to throw our E at least. Trade back a little bit. That's all we can do. But what we want to do right now is we want to just farm. Okay, so what's happening here is we're missing several... Whoa. Let's talk about that. Okay. So, I know we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about Nivea's champ identity, right? And first thing let's talk about is the CSing, right? We need to be waiting for the minions to get low enough to last hit, right? So that we don't miss the CS, which is good. But as soon as you throw out your Q here, which should be the one ability that you're holding, and if you're not holding it, you need to move way back. As soon as you throw out your Q here, there's no minions to last hit, so this is not a high value spell. This is not a high value spell because it's not going to last at any minions. Also, if this misses, you have to know that Aurora is going to jump on you because you have nothing else in your kit that she has to be scared of. She can just W over the wall, but she can at least auto attack trade you back, right? So now we have to run away here. And because this person is bad, you know, they mess this up. If this Aurora was a better player, she flashes on you and kills you there. Okay, she might kill you anyways. Now, the biggest problem is because we used our Q, and because we traded here when we didn't need to, right? And we didn't use high value spells, and we didn't hold our spells, we spent 75 gold on a pink. That's not really going to get us much. And we're going to miss the majority of this golden XP, which is more valuable than if you would have chunked her down to half health. Even if you chunk her down to half health, the wave is still pushing in her favor, and your jungler is not on the map to capitalize that and gank. So if your jungler is not on the map to capitalize on a gank on a low health opponent, and the wave is coming into you, your best bet is to just catch the wave when it gets to your tower, under tower, and get guaranteed XP and gold. Everything that's happening in this entire area before this entire sequence, that we go back and we can watch it again for 30 seconds to a minute here. Jump back a little bit. Alright, so let's jump back to from the moment you TP'd the lane. This entire next minute is the problem. If you go and walk back here and just stay in your wave and just wait for this to shove in, you'd be almost full health. You'd have all of your mana, all of your abilities up. But because you're walking up and you're disrespecting this Aurora and the fact that she has full items and she has a combat item and you have a tier, right? So she has a stronger combat purchase than you. You have to respect that and you have to give her the ability to shove the wave. So this is getting a little messy, which is part of the reason we're missing, you know, the farm here. Okay, so she doesn't get the kill. You walk out here. Okay. She stays. Man, you miss all of this XP, which is really, really, really rough. You know, this is something that's going to put you substantially behind, unfortunately, in the lane so far. And it's not necessarily the gold, it's the XP. Because if we click on her, she's almost level 6, and you are not even level 5, right? So we've got problems now. Okay, so we need to talk about this. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Sorry, I fast forward a little bit. Okay, so why are we using our E on the minion that's full health rather than using it on the minion that's low health, right? We should be securing this minion first, then moving to this minion second. Even if you're trying to push a wave fast, the fastest way to push a wave with single target abilities is to kill the low health minion, then kill the high health minion. Because your minions will then stop focusing 2 minions at a time, and they'll go from focusing 2 minions to a time, if you kill this one, to just focusing the 1 minion, right? So we really got to work on kind of paying attention to last hitting 1 minion at a time. And I think what's happening quite often here as I'm watching you is you're not being patient with your auto attacks at all. So if I watch this, right, I know that your auto attack is 0.15 seconds, which is about 1 second. So 1 Mississippi, you auto. 2 Mississippi, you auto. 3 Mississippi, you auto. 4 Mississippi, you auto. You're not waiting at all in between your auto attacks. You're clicking on a minion, and then you're just letting the champion auto attack over and over and over. The best way to last hit would be to go 1, 2, 3, wait, 4. Or you can wait here, and then make this, 3. It would be 1, or here, I'll rewrite it so it's clearer here. It would be 1, 2, wait, let your minions do damage, and then 3. You have to create space for the minion to get low enough where you last hit. You have an entire wave helping you with the last hitting process. If you rush it, the more you just throw autos out, the more CS you're going to miss. And that's a micro skill, so that's something to start paying attention to. Here, we auto this twice. What we should have done is autoed it once, let your minions attack it, then auto it the 3rd time. Okay, we use a high value spell here. I see the intention. I like that. We're trying to last hit using our spells. Okay, very good. We're getting last hits. Now I want to see you E this cannon. Okay, you ended up autoing it, which is fine. But if you would have lost that cannon, I would have been pretty upset. Okay, so the problem here, right? We know she's level 6. And let's watch if she was level 6 when she jumped on us, or if she just jumped as soon as she hit level 6. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So we secure this. She pulls that back. She gets level 6. As soon as she's level 6 here, you have to respect that and back off. We're in a little bit of a tough spot here, unfortunately. Great wall. Your Kane's coming into support, which is very nice. I want to see you stick around to help and potentially use a Q. Very nice. She's stunned. You've helped your Kane. Your Kane gets out, and you get out here and back. Very nice. Very nice. Very good. Okay, so we didn't die. Very lucky. Okay. Now the question is, do we have TP up? Not sure if we do or don't. We do not. Luckily, she's shoving the wave because she's not smart enough to freeze, which is very good for you, right? But what we can talk about here is we've probably lost around 20 CS due to being impatient with our last hits. And we should have killed her level 1 and level 2 in this lane, but we kind of fumbled our lead. And now that we've fumbled our lead, it's a little bit more difficult. Now, as we're coming back to lane here, we should talk about the fact that what you need in this lane right now is you need probably health. And if I'm correct, you're building Rod next. And you can build the next component of Rod by getting a Ruby Crystal. And you're going to need that more than you need the tier right now because you already have enough mana in lane due to the tier. Now, maybe you didn't have enough for the Ruby Crystal. We could go back and check, but that's not really a massive thing. Now here, we should be trying to fight her, but only if she steps up and gets too disrespectful. Unfortunately, she didn't. I like the intention, though. I like the fact that you're not going to try and let her bully you with no mana and no health in lane. Very good. Collecting the CS. Now, a trick for you to know about tower, if you didn't know already, that we can go over very quickly, is the way that tower works is it's always going to prioritize the cannon, then it's going to prioritize the casters. And then I'll let you in on a trick. So it's going to go 1, 2, then it will always prioritize the minion standing closest to the tower. So your tower is going to attack this 3rd, this 4th, then this 5th, and then it'll probably move to this 6th and 7th. Now let's hit play and let's watch this specifically kind of play out in your game. Okay, so you can see it's attacking the cannon first. Now it's attacking that. Now it's attacking number 3. Now you killed number 4, so it's going 5, then it's going 6, and then it's going 7, right? So you can see there that that helps you plan your last hits, right? So if you know which it's going to attack, you know which one you need to prepare to auto next. Now you got this shoved up, and you're using your priority to help with an objective. I like that. Let's kind of fast forward a little bit here, see what happens next. Okay, we need to get out of here. So we're just running out. I like that. Okay, here, we need to be focused on trying to get back to our lane. This is not where we want to be. And the reason this is not where we want to be right now is because this wave is shoving into you. So you're about to lose probably a double stacked wave if you don't get back mid. Now, we can wait and see how this plays out. Luckily, you get a good gank. But normally, I would not recommend this play. Ends up with a double kill. Very nice. Very good that it ended up working out. Aurora is walking back. At this point, we need to commit to either shoving this lane or going back to our lane. You have 2 options, right? It's all based on creating pressure in a lane, right? We got kills already, so it's all about pressure in a lane here or pressure in a lane mid, right? But we don't want to run around trying to help our teammates, right? Because what's going to happen by us running around helping our teammates is we're going to end up even further down in CS, and we're going to end up even further down in levels. So right now, we ult this wave right in the middle here, and we get this shoved out, and we run away. That should be our goal. Now, because we didn't do that, now the Seraphine can get down here, and she can catch this wave, and then Severe has the opportunity to actually catch all of this extra golden XP. So you took a good play bot and you turned it to a okay play, because now Severe is going to get all of this gold. We have to commit to either shoving or going back. It's got to be one or the other, and it's got to be immediate, unfortunately. And this is the same thing that we talked about as another point in our coaching session, which is we are leaving lanes before we are looking at the wave state, right? We got to make sure we're collecting all the gold where we are before we decide to go somewhere else. Now, right now, we don't have TP. Luckily, Aurora is mid. This is a little dangerous. I want to see you take a smart, safe path here. This is a little scary because you don't know if this is warded. You don't know where a Mumu is. So it's a little aggressive for you to do this. Luckily, you have egg, so it works out. But I think you could have saved egg, right? Could have saved egg and also not gotten chunked out had we respected the fact that the wave is shoving into us, so we don't need to trade, and we just walk around here, right? We walk through here where it's safe. We don't know where a Moo is if we walk through here, and we're assuming that if we walk in right in front of this Aurora right now, we're assuming that she doesn't have ult and that she's not going to try and punish us. Now, maybe you saw her use ult, maybe you didn't, right? But at the end of the day, what we're risking is this. This is what we're risking. And now, we've gotten ganked, right? Because we were low on health. So, we've gone about 10 minutes into this game, and I think we could go to minute 15, but I think that this is a very, very good meaty chunk, right? I think overall what we've seen here is we dropped about 10 CS from, leaving lanes before we cleared them. We dropped about 20 CS, I would say probably in terms of last hitting, which is something that we can work on in practice tool and just like by paying attention. Um, we dropped a kill by not using high value skills and spacing, and we dropped about 15 CS because we were aggressively pathing and trying to fight when the wave was shoving into us, right? So I think if we look at this all together and we say that you could have had another 45 CS here, which potentially would be something around 900 gold, right? And a kill, right? Plus another 300 gold. You know, that puts us at 1200 total. And we say, okay, let's take that and let's compare it to the current state of our items. That would probably be your boots and somewhere around your blasting wand with passive gold income. And then we would be on track to get our rod at some time in between 10 to 15 minutes. And then we would be able to use our TP to get back to lane. So that ties into the itemization that we were talking about in our item spikes. So I overall think that this is pretty good. I think that you played well, but I do think there's room for improvement, and I hope that this breakdown kind of shows you exactly where those three concepts we talked about earlier plug into your gameplay, and as you work on these more finite details, it's going to help you get that gold income up, it's going to help you hit those item spikes earlier, and that will help you translate into that kind of late game Anivia gameplay. All right. So that is the end of this VOD review. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.